My project is the replication of the Encore Cafe, and ours is called the Heritage Cafe. It is a model that's really intended to meet seniors where they are. So we are going out into our most rural communities and meeting people where they are, as opposed to expecting them to come to one of our congregate dining centers, which might be miles and miles away. We are also rehabbing all of our congregate dining centers to offer a cafe model, as opposed to the cafeteria style that typically congregate dining centers are thought to have.
Tell us about the why and motivation behind your project.
So the why for us really came during the pandemic, when our dining centers were closed and we switched to a drive-through model, which was amazingly popular, but where we live, gas is really expensive. So when our gas prices hit over $6 per gallon, participants were calling us and saying, we can't even afford to come the one day a week. And so we thought, how can we expect people to drive over 30 miles to one of our 3 dining centers to get food? At the end of the day, they can't afford the food as it is. So we decided that we needed to really look at a new model to be able to reach people where they are and get a little closer to home for them. Also, pre-pandemic, our dining center congregate attendance was decreasing. So looking at the cafe model was something we were doing pre-pandemic, and then we really used it as an opportunity to reevaluate all of our whys while we were closed for the pandemic, and we came out of it with all of this.
How did you go about finding appropriate partners or partner organizations?
So the partnerships were the foundation for us, because nutrition programs rely so heavily on partnerships. So we knew we needed that to be well established. So even before applying, we had some partnerships and some commitments. But after we received the grant, we really narrowed down what we were looking for in partnerships, what could best suit our participants, and what could host not just the distributions, but how we wanted those distributions to grow. So we wanted to find partnerships that had commercial kitchens, but also Wi-Fi, so we could bring laptops and allow people to have some access to necessary online services. We really developed a clear sense of who we were, what we wanted, and then looked for who could support that.
How will this project be sustainable once your grant period is done?
I think that's a challenge. We hope that we see a lot of similar outcomes that the Encore Cafe saw, with increased contributions from participants. And also, we're so lucky to have a lot of community support where we are, and foundation support and grants to apply for. So the meal cost for the program will be included in our Title III nutrition program. So we'll really be just looking at how do we supplement the funds for staffing cost and the travel cost, which I feel confident with increased contributions and other innovative things that we do inside of our program, like catering for a cause and nutrition contracted services that we hold with different medical providers, that will be able to sustain the program long term.
What do you wish you would have known prior to the beginning of the project?
I feel like we were really well prepared. Tim Getty was an amazing asset for us even before we got started. So we were able to see a lot of those things that we may need to troubleshoot before they even became an issue. Some of the things that we weren't surprised by necessarily, but that were and still are issues, are difficulty hiring staff, the long wait times for purchasing vehicles. Part of this program is having a catering style truck that can go out to these locations 30, 50, 60 miles from our central kitchen, which still hasn't arrived. So there are challenges like that, but they weren't surprising. With the support of the people around us, we were pretty well prepared for any potential challenges.